Hello my dear students, now we are going to see about the differences between gram-positive bacteria and gram-negative bacteria. See, the differences between the gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria is given in the page number 18 in your book. We can see that. And in the table 1.6, see the table. As far as the characteristic feature between the gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria are concerned, there are 10 differences given. One by one we will see. First difference is in the cell wall. The cell wall of gram-positive bacteria is a single-layered one, whereas in the gram-negative bacteria it is triple-layered one. The gram-positive bacteria, the cell wall thickness is 0.015 micrometer to 0.12 micrometer, whereas in the gram-negative bacteria, the cell wall is triple-layered with 0.0075 micrometer to 0.012 micrometer thickness. Rigidity of the cell wall is, here in the gram-positive bacteria, the cell wall is so rigid due to the presence of peptidoglycans. But in the gram-negative bacteria, the cell wall is elastic in nature due to the presence of lipoprotein polysaccharide mixture. Come to the chemical composition of the bacteria. In gram-positive bacteria, the chemical composition in the cell wall is peptidoglycan 80%, polysaccharide 20%, and teichoic acid also present along with peptidoglycan and polysaccharide. In gram-negative bacteria, peptidoglycans is 3 to 12%. The rest is polysaccharides and lipoproteins. Teichoic acid, here it is absent. Then, in the gram-positive bacteria, outer to the cell wall, no outer membrane is absent. In the case of gram-negative bacteria, an extra outer membrane, protective membrane present just outer to the cell wall. That membrane is absent in gram-positive bacteria. Periplasmic space is absent in gram-positive but present in the gram-negative bacteria. Periplasmic space is the space between the outer membrane and the cell wall. In between the outer membrane and the cell wall, there is a space just around the cell that is called periplasmic space. That is absent in gram-positive bacteria, present in gram-negative bacteria. Susceptibility to penicillin. The gram-positive bacteria is highly susceptible to penicillin because no extra covering outer to the cell wall. But here in gram-negative bacteria, the susceptibility is very low for penicillin. Nutritional requirements are relatively complex in gram-positive bacteria, and that is relatively simple in gram-negative bacteria. Flagella contain 2 basal body rings in gram-positive bacteria, but in gram-negative bacteria, the flagellum contains 4 basal body rings. Lipid and lipoprotein is low in gram-positive bacteria, and that is high in the gram-negative bacteria. Lipopolysaccharide is absent in gram-positive bacteria and present in gram-negative bacteria. These are all the differences between the gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. That's all.